During the final days of World War II, when the defeat of the Third Reich was inevitable, Adolf Hitler and his inner circle desperately sought any means to resist the advance of the Allied forces. Among their last-ditch and desperate strategies was the formation of a paramilitary unit known as the Werewolf. Although the term werewolf evokes images of mythological beasts transformed under the light of the moon, in this context, it referred to groups of Nazi saboteurs and guerrillas who were supposed to carry out attacks behind enemy lines once Germany was occupied. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to stay up to date with our updates. The creation of the werewolf was announced in October 1944, and its purpose was to conduct acts of sabotage, terrorism, and clandestine resistance in areas occupied by Allied forces. However, the effectiveness of this unit was limited and largely mythologized. While some cells were formed and attacks were carried out, they had little significant impact on the course of the war. The real resistance faced by the Allied forces was primarily of a military origin, rather than civilian. The myth of the werewolf persists in part due to Nazi propaganda and exaggerated stories that emerged after the war. It was claimed that members of this unit would carry out stealthy attacks at night, often disguised as innocent civilians. Although isolated cases of sabotage and killings did occur, they did not reach the magnitude attributed to them in the propaganda of the time. After Germany's surrender in May 1945, many supposed werewolf members were arrested by Allied forces and placed in custody. Most of them were young Nazi fanatics who had been recruited in the war's final days and had limited training. The myth of the werewolf continued to fuel the legend of Nazi resistance after the war, but in reality, their influence was minimal. Although their myth has persisted, the reality is that they were a late and ineffective resistance unit that had little significant impact on the outcome of the war. If you are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to follow us on all our social networks, which will be here below in the description. Remember, history is the memory of time, and the warning of the future.